This has been absolutely fucking ridiculous to watch this happen. But I wanted to watch a video about this because of just how completely fucking like unfounded, ridiculous, biased, unfair, delusional, brain dead a lot of the people criticizing Expedition 33 are. It is unreal.
Oh man, can you hear it? Can you hear the screaming that is happening right now all over the internet? There is meltdowns happening left, right, and center, and it is glorious. Ladies and gentlemen, the Game Awards has officially come and gone, and with the announcement of Expedition 33 winning the majority of their nominated awards and sweeping the entire award show, there are people that are going crazy all over social media as expected, and the hate train is here for Expedition 33. Now, in today's video,
it is the most forced, completely artificial, brain-dead hate that I have ever seen on any game ever. It's worse than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's worse than, I think, World of Warcraft. It's worse. It's so dumb. It's like impressive. Like, it's almost like you can't even deal with it because it's so stupid.
We are going to be discussing how many awards they actually won. We're also going to be discussing a recent revelation about their budget and how small it is and just how much this actually destroys the Western AAA gaming industry, because quite frankly, to have this extremely small team come out and make one of the best indie RPGs of all time, to be honest with you, and do it at a time where budgets are at their maximum and people are throwing money left and right to try to convince everybody that their game is absolutely amazing, Expedition 33 came out of nowhere and Sandfall Interactive is completely laughing at everybody.
I think that's true. Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Nobody expected this, and that's a good thing. Good intro.
So hit that like button, subscribe button, all that good YouTube algorithm nonsense, and comment down below. Otherwise, your view's not going to count. And to be honest with you, that kind of sucks. Let's talk about Expedition 33. So as you guys are aware, Expedition 33 was nominated for around 12 categories at the Game Awards, and this is the most nominations that any video game has received ever in Game Awards history. They ended up taking home 9 wins out of those 12 at the Game Awards, and it was unbelievable. They ended up beating out Baldur's Gate 3 in 2023, and everybody knows how successful Baldur's Gate 3 was. It was a massive...
Still is. What's crazy is that Baldur's Gate 3 is still massively successful.
Video game. That is why everybody is super excited to check out Larian's brand new game, Divinity. But we'll make another video for Divinity, although I'm super excited about that personally. So Expedition 33 ended up winning the following awards. It won Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Score and Music, Best Performance, Best Independent Game, Best Debut Indie Game, Best Role-Playing Game. All of these were won by Expedition 33. It was massive, it was glorious, and it's another example of what happens when you make a video game with actual passion instead of just being another AAA corporate slop that is made from people that actually hate gaming and hate gamers and hate everything about what they do. Meanwhile, they want to convince you that you should spend $70, $80 on their product standard before they charge you for multiple different microtransactions and DLCs.
So true, brother. So true.
On day one, by the way. So now the fallout from this has been massive. I mean, Expedition 33 was expected to sweep. That's what everybody was thinking, except for me personally. I'll be honest with you. I thought that Expedition 33 was going to get snubbed for Game of the Year because I thought in my mind, considering recent snubs that have happened between Black Myth Wukong and more egregiously Hogwarts.
I can see why he thinks that. And also considering that a lot of the voting is done by different studios, and not even really studios, but like these different groups rather than fans. I wouldn't be that surprised.
Its legacy, I thought that there was no way that they were going to let this very small, indie team basically take down the entire Western gaming industry, considering how important the Game Awards is for all of these people that care more about their social clout than what they're actually doing at work. So I thought they were going to snub it for Game of the Year, but thankfully I was proven to be wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong in this situation. The fallout has been massive. If you go on social media right now, God bless you, because it's going to be a war zone. There are people out there fighting left and right, all of the extremely forced expeditions.
I think that video gaming right now is going through a bit of a reformation. And I think this is the reason why a lot of people are getting mad. It's because right now you have a number of really big paradigm shifts. You have the paradigm shift away from AAA gaming into indie development. You have the paradigm shift away from a centralized distribution into anybody can release a game on Steam and anybody can do that. And that's very well known now. You also have the ease of access that things like Unreal 5 create for developers that allow basically anybody to make a video game now. And these guys to make a game with like relatively nothing, right, compared to the other studios. And you also have the advent of AI coming into gaming too. So gaming right now is changing in like a bunch of different ways. And I think that people that are the traditional gamers, right? Some of them like it, some of them don't. But one thing that seems to be very clear is that a lot of the people inside of the gaming industry itself do not like the direction gaming is going in. They don't. They view it as a existential threat to, I guess, probably their career, I think that they're right.
33 hate that is so obvious, man. You got
less reliance on big publishers. Exactly. Yeah. But the thing is that people that are beneficiaries of bureaucratic systems will be against bureaucratic systems being invalidated and made less influential. And I think that's what's happening.
That are casual gamers that play like NBA 2K only, and they're out here angry gamers because Expedition 33 swept the awards. You got people complaining, saying that no game should be winning this many.
What do you mean Baldur's Gate 3 won? What about Spider-Man?
Awards, no game is that good, whatever. Like, people are just losing their minds over it, and I have a couple of examples to show you in this video. One funny example, which obviously may or may not be true, but this is a post from B-Bomb Gaming, and it says Hideo Kojima's reaction to losing Best Direction at the Game Awards to clear obscure Expedition 33.
You got blown the fuck out. You did. That's just what happened. Too bad. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to have a W every time, right? Not every game is going to be good. Like, it's not like it doesn't mean Kojima sucks, but you didn't win this one. That's the way it goes.
And you can clearly see, it's obviously a GIF, but you can see when it says that it was announced, you can see him kind of scoff and smirk and laugh and look at whoever his partner is on the left. And they're like, oh, this game is winning another award again. Here we go. Right? Hideo Kojima got a little bit humble there, but still, it's pretty funny.
I do think that, and I believe this is real, is that there is definitely a bit of like friction and cultural kind of nuance that's lost whenever it's like somebody designing a game in let's say Japan and especially China and Korea, and then going to market in America. I think that you're definitely fighting an uphill battle there, but it's not an uphill battle that can't be won because Elden Ring won Game of the Year in whatever year it came out.
Whether it's true or not. Another example over here is a post from someone called Man from Video Game, whoever this is, and he says, Sandfall are good people, but it's infuriating how a non-Japanese studio can make a pretty typical derivative complement JRPG doing nothing different besides having realistic Unreal Engine 5 visuals and a couple of Hollywood actors and get praised as redefining the video game medium. Now, this is absolute cope.
What a dick-sucking retard. Where do these people come from? Oh my god. You really think those are the only differences? Did you play the game? What a fucking moron. Stop letting... Yeah, we need to... they just stop posting on the internet.
But we're going to continue because it gets worse. He says AAA JRPG developers are going to see this success, and instead of taking away what they should, which is lower budgets, they'll ape Expedition 33 by going for Western cinematic slop instead of realizing that the reason it's good is because it's a love letter to the classics in anime in all but art style. Guys,
I mean, that's kind of true, but it's oh, Jesus.
What are we doing? What are we serious? Are we seriously calling Expedition 33 Western cinematic slop? This is so much cope.
People have used the slop word so often that it's exhausting. So now it's cinematic slop. What does that mean? Oh, it means the cinematics are really good. You have to stop. This has to stop. This is crazy.
I don't even think you could contain this amount of cope in a bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, this cope is so massive that it is felt all around the world. If you're trying to say that Expedition 33 didn't do anything different in comparison to, you know, other video games, you're coping. Because Expedition 33, let's not even talk about art style, because you clearly think it's like Western slop, which is fine, whatever. You're allowed to. It's art. You can think what you want to think. But in terms of the story was so fantastic and so well written, and the characters were so well written, and it all wove together, and it obviously had a major twist at the beginning of the game that most people didn't even see coming, which was truly shocking because they tricked you in their trailers. I mean, I'm not going to say it for people who haven't played it, but still, there is such a massive...
I don't know. I thought that, like, I mean, the real thing was the paintress, right? I mean, that was the, like, oh, fuck, right? I guess, like the end of Act 1 with Verso, like, that was pretty big, too.
Twist that gets you hooked almost immediately if you weren't already hooked by the opener that happens in the video game. I mean, sincerely, you must be coping if you think this game didn't do anything different in comparison to other RPGs or JRPGs or whatever you want to call it. Now, calling it Unreal Engine 5 visuals, and that's the only reason why this game was even remotely successful.
Unreal Engine 5 visuals? Like, this is the latest brain-dead criticism that video games that have a certain look to them that are made in Unreal 5 are automatically bad. No, I don't think so. That's retarded.
Hollywood actors. I mean, again, you're absolutely coping. It has nothing to do with who the voice actor is. It has to do with the work that the voice actor actually did. The voice actors in Expedition 33 did a fantastic job. I don't really care about their politics. Some of them are woke as hell, but it doesn't matter.
Who the fuck is reading their tweets? Yeah, their politics, that's it. It's crazy.
They did a fantastic job, and they kept that shit out of the game, and that's all that matters to me anyway.
And I think also that's another reason why some of these people might be mad about Expedition 33 is that it instantly showed that you actually don't need any politics in a video game in order to make a good video game. Because these people try to inject their political views, their social politics into video games. And this game showed, actually, no, you don't have to do any of that. There's no political messaging in this game at all, unless you go to such a level of abstraction that like everything is like Pong is political, Pac-Man is political. Right? It's really annoying. And so I think that's the reason, too, is that it disproved a lot of... I think, like, like modern audience narratives.
The day.
To say, to every neurodivergent person watching this in this room, because I know there's probably quite a lot of you, and at home.
Man. What?
And there's a reason why they are winning awards for best voice acting, right? Jennifer English won her award, even though she's a psychopath, and she had to go up there and be like, this is for neurodivergent people. And meanwhile, the last award show, she's like, this is for vagina eaters. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, so these people who are woke as hell.
I don't give a fuck what somebody's politics are. Just do the thing. I didn't listen to her fucking speech about her fucking, like, like you have a girlfriend or you're married to another woman. Who gives a fuck? Nobody actually cares about this. Nobody gives a shit. The only time people care is when it's something that's put into the video game that feels like it's patronizing or it's forced. That's when people care. Besides that, nobody really gives a shit.
We know a lot of them are woke as hell, but if you keep it out the video game, nobody cares as long as the video game is good and you respect the player's time and investment, which they did. And it is what it is. And voice actors aren't even part of the studio. They are hired contracted work, and once their work is done, they move on. So that's one example of the cope. I mean, we have, of course, IGN praising Jennifer English for talking about this is for every neurodivergent person watching. Yeah, whatever. That's absolutely stupid. IGN wants...
Yeah, I think it was a big deal. It was just funny, right? I mean, everybody takes everything so seriously nowadays. It's very exhausting. It really is.
Talk about that, but they won't talk about anything else. You have this post from the NCS master saying, and the Expedition 33 award goes to Expedition 33. I mean, listen.
Hose mad.
People are losing their minds over this. It is what it is. Now, this is a really good post here from somebody called Noir over on X, and it says the following, because it's so true. I have to share it. Corporate bootlickers spent their entire year defending Reddit slop like Avowed, Ghost of Yotei, Metroid Prime 4, and Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Literal garbage games, like slop games, boring games, like shit that you are going to forget about. Like, do you think anybody is going to care about these games in like 2 years? Absolutely not. Meanwhile, you're going to have a ton of other people ton of other people that are going to remember Expedition 33 for decades.
Meanwhile, indie game Clear Obscure Expedition 33 took home all the awards, while at that AAA slop was nowhere to be seen. Real gamers won at the end of the day. Now, I think it's a little bit unfair to put Metroid Prime 4 in the same basket as Avowed, Ghost of Yotei, and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, listen, man, I know like those NPCs are annoying, but a couple of annoying NPCs versus like an entire annoying game, I think it's totally different. So I wouldn't necessarily put Prime 4 in that same basket, but I understand what this guy was trying to say. And it's absolutely true, by the way. The entire year we spent listening to these people over on social media, on YouTube, the shills, right? And they hate being called shills, but at the end of the day, that's the only word we really have to describe them.
I think I have another word. I call them retards. I think that's about accurate too. Honestly, I think retard's more accurate. But shill is fine too.
Because they were spending their entire time
trying
to tell you how amazing Ghost of Yotei was, trying to tell you how amazing Assassin's Creed Shadows was, trying to tell you how the chuds got dunked on by these video games, and they're absolutely going to be Game of the Year, or trying to tell you that Avowed got extra hate or targeted.
Congrats to the white person game. How many likes did this get? 2,000 likes. It's crazy how a lot of this criticism is actually just racism. That's it. I'm not even, a white person game. And it's a racist comment? No, and this is a huge component for people like this, is that they will downvote. And I do think, people might not believe this, I do think the fact that this is a small studio, Expedition 33 doesn't have any, quote, diverse characters, and there's not a statement about how being non-binary is that's what angels do or something like that. I do absolutely think that there's a lot of people like her. And by the way, these people don't play video games. They just complain about them. But there are people like her that will go out there and talk about this shit all the time. No woke haircuts, stuff like this. And the reason why people don't like games like Expedition 33, they're like her, is because it shows that the entire movement and thing that they represent is worthless. Everything that they think that you have to do, you don't actually have to do. It's all fake. That's why she's mad.
Hate or targeted hate or whatever the hell they were trying to call it.
So they're creating artificial hate in order to make it look like there's a need for what they want.
There's other games, by the way, not just these three games. There were other games that these corporate ass lickers were trying to push all over social media as the next big thing, because they either get paid to do so or they want to gain access from doing so. Whatever it may be, they were out here trying to lie to people forcibly. Or, you know what, maybe they were telling the truth, but the thing is, their truth means it has to be your truth. And that is the most annoying thing about them. Well, they will say, well, since I love this game, that means you can't hate this game. That's essentially how they act, and it's ridiculous. They try to call you a grifter if you don't like a game that they don't like. It's unbelievable. So that was a great.
Well, they just call you. They insult you because that's all they do, right? When I see a watermelon in a profile, it makes me think of Harry Styles. I mean, every time I see somebody like that, like anybody that has a bunch of flags in their profile, that has a watermelon in the profile, that has their pronouns in the bio, any of that, I just automatically assume this person is retarded. I do. I assume they're retarded. And I think that there might be one other one, but that's about it. I'm like, I see that, I'm done. Nope.
Posed by Noir, and then of course we have Pirate Nation showcasing this post that I want to play. Clear up for Expedition 33.
I mean, it's like a reference to Palestine, which is I've got no problem with people talking about that, but it's the type of social media performative activism that is just so exhausting. It's so exhausting for people to use their social causes that they agree with, like world buffs for a raid. it's tiresome. It's so tiresome. And I don't want to be around people like that. They're annoying. Like, that's it.
Winning game of the year at the Game Awards. By the way,
that ain't what it means. Is the watermelon a reference to Palestine? Is it or not? Yeah, is it? Yes, okay. It is. Yeah, I obviously it is. I just looked it up. It is. Yeah, I don't know why you'd try to correct me on something you don't know what you're talking about. But okay.
What they decided to do. This is the legend. This is how legendary this studio is. Not only did they win 9 awards, but they also decided to drop a DLC on everybody the moment they won the award. Now, I believe they have this DLC planned anyway, but still, it's fantastic that they saved it all the way for the end as a massive extra dunk. And guess what? They didn't charge you money for it. They're dropping these updates and they're charging you absolutely $0 for these updates. How much more can they felt the AAA gaming industry? I can only imagine how Ubisoft and Square Enix must feel looking at this. This is the embodiment of Square Enix thinking that turn-based video games don't sell anymore. Remember when they said that?
To be fair, Expedition 33 is not your traditional turn-based video game. Like, it's definitely not. And I think that it's fair to say that traditional turn-based video games, it's harder to get an audience for games like that nowadays. Definitely. But at the same time, I do feel like turn-based is... I mean, how do you think turn-based isn't going to work whenever fucking Baldur's Gate 3, was there?
Embodiment of Ubisoft thinking that for a video game like Assassin's Creed Shadows based in feudal Japan, that this is the representation of what it would have been like if they didn't go with Yasuke Inoue. You know what I mean? Like, this is the representation of their worst nightmares coming true.
Yeah, no, it's undeniable that if they had gone out and they had used, instead of like Yasuke and Inoue for Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they had just done John Japan and Jane Japan, and it's like some duo where you can be like the fucking samurai warlord or like the quick little ninja, and like the chick was way hotter, I guarantee you it would have sold way more copies. It's not even a question.
Center stage for everybody to see, millions of people to see. Their entire narrative about the entire industry has completely gone up in flames within 9 awards. It is glorious. Let's watch the Expedition 33 head of the studio talk really quick.
All dressed up is so fucking ridiculous.
What a weird timeline for us. This was supposed to be a joke. The Barbarian Narnia. I have no idea what's happening. Well, I want to thank first the incredible team at Unfold Interactive. They are not watching from home, as we brought literally everybody here to celebrate with us. So I love you guys.
Yeah, the 2 rows. 2 rows of people. That's everybody. Wow. Man. The whole team.
I also want to thank Kepler Interactive, our publisher, but also our localization teams, our playtesters, our wonderful cast for both motion capture and voice, and all the people who worked on this game to make it happen. It's really a teamwork. So just thank you to everybody who contributed. And also, I want to extend a thank to the unsung heroes of this industry, the people who make tutorials on YouTube on how to make a game, because we had no idea how to make a game before. So thank you.
It's my favorite part. Yep. It really goes to put it into perspective. So we just watched some YouTube tutorials and we made this game.
Thank you to an important man in my life.
Credit to YouTube is insane.
Who made me fall in love with games and inspired me to become a game dev. So thank you, Mr. Sakaguchi.
Wow. What a salt in the wound, yeah.
And finally, just a massive thank you to the players for all your covers, your fan art, your endless arguing about which ending is a good one. That's wonderful to read. Thank you so much. And I think that actions...
I'm gonna be honest, like, if anybody thought the Mayel ending was the right ending, like, they're fucking nuts. Like, they're crazy. They're, like, actually really crazy in real life. Like, they're fucking out of their mind.
Are worth more than words. So
it's not even a question. It's really not.
A few months ago, so I'm very happy to say that it's releasing now, and you can just go home and play. It's free.
There is no right ending. Yeah, there is.
New boss, so just,
it's obvious what the right ending is.
Thank you so much. You changed our lives. You changed the studio's life, and it's really wonderful. So thank you, and for those who come after.
So that was a fantastic speech, and the hilarious thing about that speech is three things, okay? Three things that destroy, in my opinion, the gaming industry's entire ideology. The first thing is that he thanked YouTubers. That is a big no-no in the gaming.
That actually would be a good idea. If you pick the Mayel ending and you get the achievement, it automatically sends your Steam data to your local psychologist, and they can send you mail for, like, when you want to schedule your first appointment. That'd be smart. This save a lot of problems.
Industry, you do not thank YouTubers for anything, especially since he said right after that they had no idea how to make a video game. And meanwhile,
I think the reason why a lot of these mainstream, like, people don't like YouTubers is because YouTubers are, like, they're not, like, as accountable inside of the web of accountability that mainstream media and these publishers and developers are inside of. Like, because they're not accountable to anybody, that makes them dangerous because they can't be controlled. No credentials? Yeah, but clearly credentials don't really matter. Like, people that are successful and good at what they're doing are going to do it and figure it out whether they have a degree in it or not.
Did they learn from YouTubers, but they also destroyed the entire Western gaming industry by learning from the YouTubers, the people that the industry claims that they hate every single day, the people they claim that the YouTubers have no idea what they're talking about. And meanwhile, I just think that's
and
great.
Here's another factor, right? Is that a lot of these writers for video game magazines, if they wanted to be YouTubers and be successful content creators, they couldn't do it. But if the content creators wanted to be writers, they could. I think it's important to remember that.
The second thing is that he obviously thanked the Final Fantasy creator, Hironobu Sakaguchi, which is massive, right? Because unfortunately, Sakaguchi, pretty much after he left the Final Fantasy series, a lot of people believe that that is when the series had completely started to tank. So having him shout out somebody like Sakaguchi is pretty huge for somebody who is big into JRPGs or RPGs in general. Most people will probably know of Sakaguchi, and if you don't, you should definitely look him up because he's a very important person. So that was number two, and that was hilarious. And number three, and the biggest one of all, is to drop a DLC with lots of content, and it's called Verso's Drafts, and this content is free. He dropped a free big content patch right at the end of his speech, which is massive, and another felting for an industry that is trying to nickel and dime gamers every chance that they get. Absolutely destroyed in every way imaginable, and you love
I think that these droppings of the prices too, what's going to end up happening is that it's going to make it so AAA companies are just simply not able to make viable video games. Just straight up. Like, how can you make a viable game if you have to compete against people that are just basically operating at like 10% of the cost? And they have, like, instead of like 15 barriers of red tape, they have like 3. Like, you're just going to get totally out-competed in the market.
See it. Now, one thing that is causing controversy right now, and obviously not really shocked at this, is considering the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 Twitter page had just simply posted when the announcement of the Game of the Year award was Expedition 33. They posted the meme dog of This Is Fine, right? Where the dog is surrounded by fire, trying to pretend like everything is fine.
What a surprise that a fucking Karen doesn't understand they're goofing around. They're goofing around. Do you really think that they're that upset about it? They know they were probably going to lose. Holy shit, it's a fucking meme. Jesus Christ, just boys. Yes, they're so serious about everything, aren't they? Oh my God.
And I think it's funny. I really do think it's funny. Yeah. But the fallout from this is massive, right? Like, people are not happy about this. You have a lot of people that are coping, trying to say that KCD2 should have won RPG of the year. And listen,
if they should. I think that would have been fair. Sure.
KCD2 was a fantastic RPG. Yeah, I played it. I liked it. It was great. And
it depends on how you define it. I think that Expedition 33 was a much better game. And if you want to look at RPG as a genre of game, I think that Expedition 33 comes out ahead. But if you want to look at RPG as in which game provides you the most immersive experience of playing the role of another person, I felt like I was Henry a lot more than I felt like that was Verso. And it was not even remotely close. So, like, I think it really depends on how you want to define it.
For these games are actually a testament to not only talent, but also the low-budget capability of some of these studios when they really tried. Now, Expedition 33 was revealed to have a budget of less than $10 million. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, less than $10 million was the budget for Expedition 33. When it comes to KCD2...
So fucking embarrassing. Oh my God. $10 million? You know they make Black Myth Wukong for like 40 or 50, right?
Their budget was around $42 million, so it was definitely a lot more up there compared to Expedition 33. But the fallout from this particular post from KCD2 is massive. You got this post saying Vargas Salvatierra says Daniel Vavra did everything in his power to appease the DEI gods and still got completely snubbed. I really wouldn't call it completely snubbed, because if you want to see what completely...
I mean, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 sold really well. I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, imagine you're the guys that make Honkai Star Rail, your Hoyoverse. Are you really going to get upset whenever your video game doesn't win Game of the Year? No, because you're a fucking billionaire. So I think that there's a lot of these devs that, you know, the acknowledgement and getting up and, you know, everybody giving you an award, it's nice. But, like, I don't really think a lot of them give a shit about it that much. I don't think it's that big of a deal to them. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I would say.
Snubbed looks like, just look at Hogwarts Legacy. That was completely snubbed, right? But when it comes to KCD2, they were nominated. They were nominated for Game of the Year. They just didn't win. And that could be either because it's rigged or that could be because it's legit. Rigged. But that's up to you to decide. But overall, people are just laughing at this entire situation. And they're honestly very, very clearly angry at the fact that KCD2 did not win Game of the Year. Now, with the revelation of the $10 million...
Yeah, it's again, like, and I think that, I know it sounds like crazy, but I do actually think that the fact that this game doesn't follow any of the modern audience rules to video games, and they just made a good video game, period, I think that that definitely does upset some of those kinds of people, because they are tone policers. They do want to enforce, like, different worldviews into things, stuff like that. And whenever you have a game like Expedition 33 that doesn't do any of that, and it still succeeds and it does really well, well, that's going to make them upset, because now it's like, okay, well, how can I tell people that this is so important if a game just won every single award that didn't care about any of the things that I said, right? That's why they view that as, it basically breaks their narrative.
Less budget from Expedition 33. This is where I want to drive this whole video home. Obviously, there's a lot of coke right now going out there about Expedition 33. Yeah. You can have your thoughts about it. You can call it glazing. You can say that the game is overblown. You can say whatever you want to say about the game. That's perfectly fine. You have your right to say that. But here's what I will say. This is a prime example of a passionate studio that was smart with their budget, that knew what they were going to make, and they went and made it, right? When you have AAA studios that are all over the place, they don't know what they want to do because you have so many different agendas going in, trying to change things, fix things, or whatever. You end up with a clusterfuck, and that's exactly what happens in most of these AAA games. And by the time...
I think that's exactly what's happened. He's right. That there are just too many hands in the cookie jar, and nothing gets through. No cookies come out of the cookie jar, and if they do, they're broken and fucked up.
And they figure it out. Their budgets are $150 million, 200 million, 250 million.
Yep.
And it's almost impossible for them to make their money back. This is the difference between a AAA studio that has no real direction versus an independent studio that has a very small team that has a very strong direction and knows exactly what they're trying to do, and they set out to do it. $10 million, ladies and gentlemen, won Game of the Year for Sandfall Interactive. Just think about that. That number is insane. That should shock pretty much anybody, and that should honestly make these people feel terrible. The AAA industry, Ubisoft, Square Enix, all these companies. Square Enix literally said turn-based video games are dead and they won't sell. And now look at them. Game of the...
As I said, I think that saying that Expedition 33 is a turn-based video game is technically accurate, but I think that it's also kind of misleading. Like, very clearly, like, I mean, most people are playing it at a difficulty where parrying and dodging attacks is kind of necessary. Like, it does require active gameplay in combat. Now, just because it's not complete action combat, like, it's not an action combat game, and it's not just a turn-based game.
Year went to a turn-based RPG, and they have to eat the shit. And Ubisoft, you already know what Ubisoft stands. And this is not even just calling out those two. There are a bunch of studios out there that think exactly like them. And Sandfall Interactive and Expedition 33, whether you hate them or not, they are the complete opposite of the narrative that the AAA gaming industry has been trying to sell you for years on years on years. So you guys let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about the Expedition 33's mega sweep that happened at the Game Awards? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And if you don't comment, your view's not going to count. That absolutely sucks, man. So make sure
somebody says, yeah, I think if Expedition 33 didn't have engaging parry and dodge mechanic, it wouldn't be as successful now. What do you think? I don't think so either. I think that its mechanic for parrying and dodging made it more successful. I think if it was a traditional turn-based game, it would not have sold as many copies. I think it probably would have been a transcendent, massive success, and it probably still would have won Game of the Year, but I don't think it would have been as successful as it was.
Comment. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys
just because
on
it was
the next
so different.
Hypnotic out.
Yeah, I thought it was a good video. I like that. The gameplay was goated. Yeah, I would say so too. I mean, I thought it was really good. I mean, I think most people thought that, honestly. I feel like a lot of people did. So I was glad to see it. The Mimic Boss too. Well, I mean, a lot of stuff was good with the game, right? It wasn't just one thing. Expedition 33 has better gameplay than Baldur's Gate 3 by a mile. Well, yeah, because they focus mainly on gameplay. I think that's what makes the most sense, doesn't it? There's the video right there. I actually like Hypnotic's videos a lot. I mean, I've watched a lot of them myself. And, you know, make sure to give him a sub and everything like that. He has, how many does he have? 107,000 subscriberinos. Wow. And I think the dodge and parry mechanic will become the new standard for future turn-based RPGs. Am I crazy for saying that I don't want Expedition 33 to be the new standard? I don't. I think that it's a great system. It's really cool. But at the same time, I don't want to see every single video game now trying to emulate Expedition 33. That's my outlook on it, right? I mean, as much as I think it's cool, I don't want to see everybody doing it now. And they're going to copy it, clones. And if people want to copy it and try to do it better, then I think they should. But I just don't think that this should be the new normal that every single video game tries to emulate. Because, again, like, turn-based video games are unique in a way that they effectively remove the skill gap in gaming. And you do have to be, like, I mean, beating Simon is hard. Like, you have to be very good at the game to do that. And turn-based games effectively remove that skill requirement. And I think that's a good thing in a lot of cases. It actually is. Sadly, that's what will happen because of the sweep. Yeah, I mean, you're going to see some games do that. But, I mean, I'm sure that, and there have been other games that have used, you know, like, kind of timing-based mechanics for turn-based games before. It's not impossible. I mean, it goes back as far as, I think the first one was Super Mario RPG, right? So it's not like it's, like, this impossible thing that nobody's done. But at the same time, like, I don't think that it should be happening for every game. That's really the difference. That's what I would say.